such an asshole.
The Dark Knight of Advice columns, the IKEA of consultants, America's older brother, assholeconsulting.com. You do not have to be an American to employ the services of Asshole Consulting. You just have to speak English because I am too fucking lazy to learn yours. And that's the benefit of us kicking ass in 2 world wars and saving you assholes from communism. Actually, it has more to do with the British Empire and maybe the US dollar. I think that might have, but it is more the British Empire than anything else. Hello, Asshole Consulting. I would like to have a video request done. I will pay extra if needed if you find my email lengthy. No, it was fine. It's just, it's going to take me a bit to answer because it's amorphous. Some personal information regarding my situation. I'm 20 years old, male, never had an actual girlfriend, never made any progress to lose my virginity. Extremely introverted in social settings, which hinder and deter my opportunities to meet girls. When I do find myself in a conversation with a gal, I usually do minuscule amounts of talking and a lot of listening. That's not bad. That's not bad, actually. I don't like usually talking to people in general. I'm relatively quiet like a typical introverted person, but much more to a certain extent. When I do get words out when I'm talking to a girl, I usually stammer and it takes effort to think of something to say in the conversation. I don't lack confidence or neither super shy. I choose not to engage in communicating with other people. What can I do? Best regards. I kind of asked you, well, what's your IQ? Because maybe you're really super genius and you're just not interested in other people. You said you always got your IQ scored around the mid-80s, which I find really hard to believe because you're not retarded, but that's starting to go into really, really dumb category, and the way you write doesn't seem that way. You composed a very good email, so I would double check your IQ. In other words, the quality of your writing and then your IQ doesn't jive. It doesn't make any sense. But anyway, all right, normally I would rip into you. I'd say, stop being a fucking pussy. I'm sick and tired of you millennials. You're afraid, you're cowards, you don't want to hit the gym, you're lazy. However, you are a little bit different. And the reason I say that is a couple things you point out. Here's what you say. When I do find myself in a conversation with a gal, I usually do minuscule amounts of talking and a lot of listening. All right, see, that's listening. There's nothing wrong with being, talking is silver, silence is golden. But the fact you're listening, maybe you just prefer to listen. Whereas other guys are just trying to play their game, run their skit, run their script to get into a girl's pants. But you seem to actually prefer to listen, which again doesn't make sense. You only got an IQ of 80. That smart people listen. Here's another thing. I don't like usually talking to people in general. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not that you're antisocial. Again, this led me to ask whether you had a super high IQ, whether you just find people boring. But maybe you just don't like talking to people. Not that you hate people or you're a misanthrope, but there's nothing wrong with being an introvert. Everyone thinks like, oh, you got to be an extrovert, you got to go out there. It's like, no, that's just it's a trait like having blue eyes versus brown eyes. One is neither better nor worse than the other. Neither is being an introvert or an extrovert being worse than the other. I'm relatively quiet like a typical introverted person, much more so. I don't lack confidence or neither am super shy. I choose not to engage in communicating with other people. So again, this is you choosing this. You prefer this. And getting back to what I said before, there's nothing wrong with being by yourself. Some people, some people like chocolate. Some people like peanut butter. Some people like dogs, some people like cats. Some people have to be the center of attention, have constant activity and social stimulation. Other people just are perfectly happy staying in a cabin and reading books, and they just don't like interacting with people. So what I'm trying to say is that there's nothing wrong with you per se. And the problem is not that you're a coward or you're a weakling or you're afraid to talk to girls or you're lazy, you don't want to hit the gym, you are fearing getting rejected. You just don't like talking to people. And that's fine. That's a legitimate reason. for you to still be a virgin at 20 and you haven't actually had a girlfriend. Nothing wrong with that if that is what you are consciously choosing. So the real question I think you have, or the issue facing you, is, I mean, how much do you want a girlfriend? Because here's the problem that you're facing at your age. You're 20, and these girls, I mean, look, you think you don't like talking to people now. Wait till you go on a date with your average 20-year-old girl. Oh my God. Good. You know, and this intelligence would play a different role here. Like if you're really smart, it'd be painful to talk to your average, you know, college-age girl. Where was I going with that? Oh, the challenge that you are going to face is to find a girl that is going to work for you to be a girlfriend and that you'd inevitably maybe, you know, have sex with your choice and your lack of ability to tolerate most people, your preference to be alone. That's going to be hard. And I'd almost say you're going to have to find you are going to have to find somewhat of a quiet girl, or maybe a loud girl is going to have to find you. That happened to my other buddy who's very quiet, very reserved. He didn't say boo to any girl, and if he liked a girl, he'd ask me, how do I talk to her? I'm like, well, you go talk to her. Let's go talk. Well, I don't know if I want to. And it wasn't that he was afraid or anything. He just like, well, I don't really. He just kept to himself. He's a really quiet guy. And the way he got married is a gal met him. I think it was online dating, and she was bold and brash, and she was Calamity Jane. She came walking right in, and she definitely wears the pants in the family. There's nothing wrong with that. You know, opposites will attract. But she chose him. I mean, he put a little bit of a line out there, and she grabbed onto him. So, in other words, if you're going to find this type A personality, the extrovert woman, you got to put yourself out there and maybe do some online dating or whatever. But that gal is going to pick you. There's nothing for you to find that gal. Maybe what you could do, here's a trick you could, if let's say you're at a party or something, and you see there's a cute gal, and this may be a good experience for you. You find a loud, rambunctious woman. Nothing wrong with that. They're fun. And you're at a party, and you just maybe stand next to her or within her proximity and just be yourself. Like, don't talk to her. Or say very limited things to her. And then her curiosity will be piqued. She's like, why don't you talk much? Just don't talk that much. You know, it doesn't mean I don't like you. You know, just actually quite fond of you. But that's even a little bit too much charm. She said, it doesn't mean I don't like you or anything. I just don't talk much. You know, and then that, you know, usually type A's respond to other type A's. But if you see a type B and then, hey, you all right? You doing okay? No, I just don't talk much. That's all. And then you kind of draw them in. But I think what is probably going to be more likely is you need to just find a nice quiet girl. And so I'm thinking, like, go to the library, go look at library science majors, which is a horrible major, but they're quiet. Look for the quiet girl, but in the end, you're going to have to, you're male, you're going to be the one that has to go talk to the girl, but that's only if you really want to. And since you seem to be perfectly fine on your own, you don't like talking to me, and you're choosing to. That's the key thing. You are choosing to. I get these guys that torture themselves. Oh, I can't meet a girl. But did you go? No. Did you do this? No, but I want to meet a girl. And they're not introverts. They're just cowards. It's like, well, go talk to the fucking girl. Get your ass shut down like the rest of us. That is not your case. So I don't like confidence. I just choose not to engage and communicate with her. What can I do? Best regards. All right. Here's what you got to answer to yourself. You got to be honest and true to yourself. Do you really want to meet a girl? Do you really want to go and socialize? Because it's the same question younger people faced in the 90s and the aughts. Did any guy really want to go to a loud-ass nightclub, pay a cover, wait in line in the chilling, freezing cold of the 1990s at First Avenue in Minneapolis to go talk to girls in loud, barely, I mean, you'd have to yell at women because of the music. Did any guy really want to do that? No. Did guys want to buy girl drinks? No. Did we want to do any of it? No. But we did. Here's a question for you. Do you want to do that? Not that you would want to go to a nightclub or something that loud or obnoxious. But do you want to go and chat up girls and go online and do the Tinder thing and what is it? You gotta have Instagram, that's how everybody sees how cute you are. That's how the kids meet up today. Do you want to do social media? Or are you perfectly fine reading books and staying at home? There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with being, I don't want to say a hermit, that has a negative connotation, but if you just prefer to be by yourself and do what you want to do, nothing wrong with that. But if you do inevitably, and this is where genetics and biology and hormones come in, if you want to get laid, well, okay, and you want to get married, let's do two separate. If you want to get laid, fly to Amsterdam and get laid. Fly to Vegas and get laid. Just do a prostitute. And there's very little talk. It's nothing. It's one and done. You get your rocks off. So I'll take care of that. But if you want a wife, you're going to have to make some forays into social settings. Doesn't mean you have to be super social. But I would stick with hobbies and interests and things you like. So if you like a book club, go to a book club. If you play chess, go to a chess club. If you like to hike or whatever physical activity, doesn't necessarily mean you got to talk. You go to that, meetup groups. That's what I would do, is go out and participate in hobbies, quote, socialize. But man, there's nothing worse where you gotta force yourself to do shit you don't want and be who you're not. That's just a pain in the ass. And then you're gonna find a gal, like you're faking being somebody else. She's gonna lie and fall in love or like the fake you, and then you gotta keep that up. Like, I actually know him. All I wanted to do was just stay home and watch documentaries on Star Trek. And then she's like, well, I thought you were like out mountain climbing, hiking, weightlifting, adventure type guy. And it's like, no, actually I hate that. That's not me. And I fell in love with Bob. You're no Bob. And then it's very sad and tragic. But anyway, yeah, if you want to get married, I think that's probably more for your personalities. If you're looking, you probably want a monogamous relationship down the road, not today or tomorrow. You're only 20, so don't worry about it. But if any other reason, I even want to say your social life, because you seem content doing what you're doing. But maybe for future business reasons, for your career, you're going to have to learn to socialize a little bit. So let's make some forays and attempts to get into groups of people in social settings. I'm not saying go to the bar. Don't go to the bars. But go online, look at meetup.com, see what activities are near you. Go see whatever hobbies or interests. If there's something you always wanted to go do it. Play poker. Go whatever it is you want to do. And I wouldn't even worry about guys or gals at this point right now. Don't worry about it. Just go and be social. Just, talk a little bit. Oh, I do this. I'm a student. Oh, that's very nice. And don't try and force getting a girl or hooking up or anything like that, because I don't think it's in your nature. I don't. The key thing is that you realize it's not in your nature. Don't worry what other people are doing. The vast majority of people are failing right now. May not look like it, may seem like they know what they're doing, but they're failing. The majority of people out there, what you're seeing, they're partying, woo, they're doing everything, that's called failure. Do not live a lie. Do not try and emulate them. Do not try and be them. You do what you want. Don't worry about the girls, but if down the road for business purposes, maybe social purposes, you want to get out of the house, health, mental health, physical health, these are all good things to get out of the house. Go do that, these little maybe minor baby steps. Get a little, aim for highbrow, aim for things you really would enjoy intellectually, so that when these people open their mouths, they're not a royal pain in the ass. And see where that takes you. Okay, because you remind me a lot of my buddy Brian. I won't mention his last name, but you remind me a lot of him, where he was not a partying guy. He didn't drink, but he did. He got into cycling, he got into volleyball, and got into running. He got into a lot of sports, but still a very quiet, reserved man. And he met his wife online dating, so maybe try online dating. Heck, that'd be a cool profile. Quiet, reserved introvert looking for a loud woman to be my opposite number. That'd be pretty good. All right, that's all we got. You guys got questions, the old captain's got answers over at assholeconsulting.com. Tell everybody, if you want to help out the old captain and give him even more money, you can by going to my Patreon, patreon.com/Aaron Clary. Buy my books, check out the blog, captaincapitalism.blogspot.com, and I just uploaded a new podcast. You can find that, The Clary Podcast, on soundcloud.com. We'll see you guys later. Toodles.